Hi, I'm Marty Demko. Why in the world I'm thinking about baseball? Here we are just after Christmas, but these ideas kept popping in my head and I figured I'd share them with you. Major League Baseball, Major League Baseball has become unwatchable, more than 3 hours in average length, mainly waiting. There's only 18 minutes of action in the average Major League game. When there is the action, it's mainly just a fraction of a second for the ball to go from the pitcher's arm to the catcher's mitt. And at-bats are ever longer. There are more and more strikeouts. If I could reinvent baseball, this is how I would do it. Most importantly, I would speed up the game, and here's how. Instead of 4 balls for a walk and 3 strikes for a strikeout, I'd reduce it to 3 for a walk and 2 for a strikeout. That would also increase the amount of hitting, which is the action that fans mainly want to see. Games would be reduced in length from 9 innings to 7. Most runs, which is the fun part, the runs scoring, the hitting, are scored in the first inning, and the last inning is the most likely to be exciting because that's when the game is won or lost. Eliminating 2 innings increases the percentage of the game that's likely to contain excitement, while reducing the length of games by 22%. No more warm-up pitches at the beginning of each half inning. The pitcher has plenty of time to warm up before game time and in the previous innings. Same is true when a relief pitcher comes in. He's had plenty of time to warm up in the bullpen. Besides, that's a skill. Be able to pitch without additional warming up. No throwing the ball around the infield at the beginning of each half inning nor after a strikeout. Waste of time, boring. A pitcher would be allowed a maximum of 10 seconds between pitches. As of 2023, Major League Baseball has set the maximum at 20 seconds. With runners on base, 15 with bases empty, 10 is enough. Each batter must go from, in my view, should go from the dugout to being ready to get the pitch from the pitcher within 15 seconds. Now, as of 2023, Major League Baseball set 20 seconds, but they're being too conservative. 15 seconds is enough time to go from the dugout to the plate. There is little reason to make fans wait, so before entering the batter's box, the batter can click his cleats, pull his jockstrap, or spit. I would recommend that a batter can step out of the batter's box only once per at-bat, rather than sometimes it's twice and 3 times. Importantly, rather than today's typical 90 seconds to 120 seconds between half innings, 60 would be the maximum. That's enough time for commercials. I believe the average is actually 120 seconds or even a little more. Each team would get to use only 3 pitchers per game. Pitching changes, changing the pitcher, bringing somebody in from the bullpen, slows the game. That is also another way to advantage the hitters. More hitting, more fun for the athletes, for the spectators. The manager, in my view, should be able to make only 2 trips to the mound per game. How often we see the manager come out, talk to him, go back, then the next pitcher, and then come out, go back. Waste of time. And those are ways I would mainly save time. Now, and some of those also simultaneously increase hitting. But these are explicitly about increasing hitting. The outfield fences would be only 300 feet from home plate rather than the current 300. Most of them are more like 350 to 400. A batter who hits a fly ball 300 feet has done well, and yet usually gets nothing for it. He's usually out. The pitcher's mound would be reduced from the current 15-inch height, maximum height, to 10 inches. The mound would be moved back from the current 60 feet 6 inches to 63 feet. Those would give hitters an advantage, which again pleases fans. There would be electronic umpires. There's already plenty of luck in baseball. For example, a batter hitting a line drive but right at the fielder. Or conversely, a batter hits a feeble pop-up that lands beyond the infielder's reach. An electronic ump would reduce luck in baseball by reducing luck in umpiring decisions. They would make calls of out or safe or ball or strike more accurately. Also, an electronic ump would have a more uniform strike zone that pitchers and batters can count on. Human umpires vary. Some umpires have bigger strike zones. Some have smaller strike zones. Some have higher strike zones. Some lower. And worst of all, some umpires are inconsistent. And a couple of other things to otherwise increase excitement of the game. A tougher balk rule. That would encourage stolen bases, which are another fan favorite. For example, a pitcher's leg kick instead of being able to be almost, toward the first base, which makes the runner think he's going to throw to first base, a pitcher's leg kick must be 30 degrees or less from home plate. And I would increase the size of the bases by 2 more inches. That will increase the number of stolen bases. For that reason, as I implied by 2 more, when I say 2 more, for 2023, Major League Baseball has already improved an increase of 3 inches. I believe that's too small to make enough difference, hence my recommendation for 2 additional inches. And finally, women would be eligible for baseball at all levels, from high school through the major leagues. And finally, create interactivity. Fans watching on their electronic device, their computer, their phone, whatever, can play the manager. They can vote whether to take a pitcher out and whether to have a pinch hitter. The managers would, in real time, the real managers, would see the fans voting and may or may not act on that consensus opinion. Fans with top records of successful choices would get added weight to their subsequent votes so that the managers would get even ever higher quality fan input. Fans could also bet on what a batter will do. The prize would be points to avoid the law saying against betting, except in certain circumstances. A cumulative record of each player, that is each fan, who's participating in this, would be kept online. And every month, winners would get their choice of a between-innings at-bat against one of the team's pitchers, an at-bat to one of the team's hitters, which, by the way, is a hell of a lot more interesting than the stupid music or the stupid dot racing or other silly games that they have in between innings. Or, if that's too active, they're not ready to go and be a batter or a pitcher in a game, they could throw a game's ceremonial first pitch. There would be a fee to play, which would be used to reduce the number of commercials during a game. Cumulative records would be kept, with big awards going to the season-long winners. As I said, players would be charged a fee, which would be used to help reduce the number of commercials. So, do you think that all of this would reinvigorate what we've long called our national pastime? In any event, I do thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.